Hey guys, it's Hoops Convo, and today we're going to be talking about Scottie Barnes and his ceiling. 1 year ago, if you told someone Scottie would win Rookie of the Year and help the Raptors get back into the playoffs, they'd look at you crazy. When the Raptors took him 4th overall, the expectation was he was going to struggle as a rookie, and by year 2 to 3, that's when he'll pop. Coming out of Florida State, his biggest comparison was Draymond Green because of the intangibles, the leadership, the motor, the defense, and also the lack of offense. In just his first season in the league, he averaged 15, 8, 4, and showed way more promise on that end. He's not the most athletic player, but at 6'8", 230 with the 7'3 wingspan, he has a lot of tools to work with. It also helps he's one of the smartest players in the league already at just 20 years old. But enough of that, we're here to talk about his ceiling as a player and what he could become. It's an interesting discussion because we're talking about a 6'8 wing who can guard multiple positions, is physically strong, has a great feel for the game, and is developing as an offensive player. The people that are higher on Scottie's ceiling often compare him to the likes of Magic, Giannis, Scottie Pippen, or even his own teammate Pascal Siakam. So for this video, I'm briefly going to talk about how Scottie compares to those four and give you my personal opinion about his ceiling. We'll start off with Magic Johnson, a player who Scottie has said in the past has influenced his game.
Would you say is an influence for you? Who is somebody you maybe modeled your game off of?
I wouldn't say I modeled my game after anyone, but I would say some influence. Would definitely be Magic. My dad, he always wanted me to watch Magic, look at like clips that he always done. Just be able, and then just growing up, even with me going to Florida State, they just had that vision of me, just being like Magic Johnson with my joy and my pride, being able to win, learning how to affect the game with my playmaking abilities. Doing different things on the floor. I would say he's a huge influence on my game.
Now, Magic is a top 5 player of all time, and I'm confident in saying Scottie most likely won't reach that outcome. But in saying that, you can see the influence at 6'8", 6'9", being a point forward type. Teammates love Magic because he was a fierce competitor, a leader, a guy who played with great joy. Some qualities Scottie shares too. They also look alike movement wise. As you can see, Magic Johnson above in the video, Scottie moves a lot like that. Magic even acknowledged the comparison this past season, saying Scottie was Showtime and that he's a walking mismatch. A huge compliment to one of the game's rising young stars. Now let's talk about the Giannis comparison. I personally think this gets thrown around because Masai's connection to Giannis. It's no secret Masai wanted to draft Giannis back in 2013. There's articles and there's even a video that was released 2 years ago about it. Out of all the prospects Masai has drafted since being with the Raptors, Scottie Barnes is easily the most talented and gifted. So naturally you're going to see fans compare him to Giannis. The same thing happened 2 years ago with Siakam. I get the comparison when we're talking strength-based creation, but their games are very different. Giannis is a big slasher who lives in the paint, while I think Scottie is more of a point forward. Also, Giannis is 3 inches taller, bigger, and way more athletic. Could Scottie have a similar trajectory to Giannis in terms of going from a good prospect to a star to a superstar? Absolutely. Outlier development is rare, but it's possible. We've seen this with Giannis and Kawhi. So in that aspect, I could understand the Giannis comparison. After that, we have Scottie Pippen. If you were to ask me who does Scottie Barnes remind me the most of, my answer would be this guy. And I'm not just saying that because they're both named Scottie. Pippen was a 6'8", 230 plus 7'3 wingspan point forward. He did it all on the basketball court, from scoring, rebounding, passing, to defending. That pretty much describes Scottie Barnes. Pippen was a top 10 player during his prime, a Hall of Famer, and would have been even better if he played in today's NBA. The Bulls don't win 6 championships without Scottie, and that's a fact. If Barnes ends up the modern day Pippen, that's a great outcome in my opinion. The last comparison is his teammate, Pascal Siakam. One could argue Pascal's the most underrated star in the entire league right now. This is a guy who played in the G League, then became a rotational player in 2018, after that became an all-star and a championship number 2 option, and now he's considered an all-NBA player. I can go on and on about Pascal's journey. To see where he started and where he is now is incredible. He's giving you 23, 9, 5, and great defense on a nightly basis. The hope is Scottie can one day surpass this current Siakam. And there's a good chance he does because the Raptors have one of the best development programs in the entire league. But for argument's sake, let's say he peaks at Siakam's current level. That's an all-NBA player who ranks top 25, which is a great outcome for a 4th overall pick. Now it's a part of the video where I give you my personal opinion about where I see Scottie being in 5 years. In order for him to reach his true upside, he needs to continue developing as a shooter and ball handler. It's really about the skill set right now because he has everything else. If he can do that, I think he's the modern day Scottie Pippen. A guy who can give you 23, 10, and 6 and be a monster on the defensive end. But most importantly, help the Raptors win another championship and become legitimate title threats for a very, very long time. So that concludes this video. The question for today is, how good do you think Scottie Barnes can become? Comment, like, subscribe, it helps out the channel. Like I always say, we're called Hoops Convo for a reason. Thanks and take care.
What are your ambitions as an NBA player?
I would say my envisions, probably, I can be I can be, if not the top player in the league, or one of those great top players in the league, with my mindset, because I'm just willing to work. I'm willing to get better. I know I'm a great defensive player, but I also have the offensive tools, which is pretty slept on, I would say, with the abilities that I can do on the floor. I know I can really create for myself. I really can score the ball. I would say I envision myself, if not being the best player and in the league, but one of the best players as well.
Thank you.